All right. So the story I want to talk about today was that eight Chinese nationals, migrants, were found dead off the coast of Mexico after a boat capsized. And there's a lot of thoughts running through my head. I tried to take notes this time because I talked to my co-host and was like, maybe I should put out a little bit of effort. And he was like, that would be probably a good idea there. So one of the first things I want to look at is like when I type in Chinese Mexico dead Fox News, I can find the story on CNN and Rutgers and BBC. These are all left leaning sites. I can't find an actual story on Fox News again. And it's one of the things I want to start off with when I talk about this is that like the sources or informants, they go both ways. The news goes both ways. They're not trying to inform us. They have their own goals and motivations. And again, when I talk about something like human nature, what does human nature mean? It means that individuals have their own goals and motivation, and sometimes they will align for longer or shorter with other people, but they also will diverge. So again, with the news, like why are people trying to give you information? Like sometimes it's for profit, it is for money, other times it's for politics, which is for power. And again, like me not being able to find this story on Fox News means that they don't want necessarily people that would get their information from Fox News to know about this story. What certain people and CNN and BBC lean to the left, they want people on the left to see this story. They want people on the left to be emotive about eight Chinese migrants being found dead off Mexico, as opposed to people on the right that'll be like, well, we're in some type of like cold hostilities with China and our border is not secure, right? Like because the 2024 elections are coming up, this is going to be a topic onto that. And politics, like as much as the Republicans want the border to be open so they can, oust the Democrats want the border to be open for their own reasons, and they want this information not to be known because if you're on the left and you don't think that there is a border problem going on right now, well, I would like you to lose a little bit of sleep over the eight Chinese migrants that you helped kill because of the fact that you want to lower human suffering in the world and you just caused it, right? Because again, banks, you don't need a bank to actually be financially unstable to have it close. All you need to do is spread the rumor and eventually it will go under. And in this case, the border doesn't actually need to be open. All you need to do is spread the rumor that the border is open, and eight Chinese nationals will come across the Pacific and try and enter the US. Hopefully, they're looking for like economic prosperity and not other reasons. And again, if you want to hide a problem or hide something in plain if you want to hide something, the best way to hide it is in plain sight. So again, if you're trying to bring across peoples into the US in order to cause instability, the best way to do it is just putting them in a crowd of 100 people, and give them a few machine guns. So in this case, like the other thing I want to think about is this idea that the left is importing a voting bloc, and I would not disagree with that topic, but I think that's a little short-sighted. In politics, trying to plan for the future is a good way to lose elections, right? The best way to win elections is to uh, say that you're going to do things right now and mortgage the future, right? Like that's Social Security and government bonds are us putting a noose around our grandkids, giving them a less of an opportunity to have a better life than us because we're mortgaging their future against our short-term desire, right? We're cutting down the trees that could give them shade. So in this case, like if the Democrats are actually trying to have a voting bloc in the future, what they actually are is they're giving the Republicans the ability to run on a platform of the open border. And if there are enough people out there that like would be more likely to show up and vote in the election cycle because they think that the border is open, then they're more likely to show up and vote than they would if they didn't. So if they're a single issue voter, and most people are going to end up falling in the category of being uninformed single issue voters, like all they need to believe is that the border is open. So again, like people on the left, like yeah, go ahead and continue to put your head in the sand and think that you're going to get a different outcome because it doesn't matter what you actually believe. It's what's able to be sold. And just because of the fact that I can't find the story on Fox News tends to make me think that there might be a problem out there, right? Because Fox News doesn't care about giving me the news. Fox News cares about controlling a narrative, and they don't want someone that would be normally clicking on Fox News to see this story, which makes me really interested in why that doesn't, well, why they don't want me to do that, and like I have written down, like, being conservative is just a way to change things slower than being a liberal, right? And destabilizing society is something that you can guarantee by changing things, right? Once you spill milk or let the genie out of a bottle, good luck getting it back in. Once you bring this massive block of human beings into the country, good luck getting them to leave. You're not going to do that. And if you are the left and you think that you are importing a voting block, I have news for you. All you're doing is bringing in chaos, right? And if you're on the right and you're not actually trying to solve this problem right now, you're not actually caring about the future of your children. What you care about is winning an election. And again, remember, like George Orwell in 1984, the party seeks power for the sake of power. So again, the politics is not about like the future of the country. Politics is about the control of power, right? From a political perspective. So anyway, a couple of the other thoughts I have on this is a way to solve this problem is to force Mexico to close the border and not have migrants coming into their country. And a way to do that is by threatening to, stop giving them money, that we're not going to give them money anymore. We're not going to pay our debts to them, like things like that. Like, hey, we're gonna take our pound of flesh, in different ways. Like, oh, we owe you X. Well, we've already paid you that because you're not securing the border, and we're having to spend our funds down to our southern border to secure it when you're supposed to be our neighbor and our trading partner, and you're not doing it ourselves. So, like, these are all things to be taken into account, because that's, I think, the main thing that's occurring, is our current political apparatus. Um, there are people on the right, and we'll say that they're rhinos, Republicans in name only, neocons, that think that the left is playing by the same rules that they are, and they're not, because right now the current left is, their goal is to destabilize Western culture, and the right is thinking that they have this good old boy club, and it's get along to get along, uniparty, and that's no longer taking place, because again, you have a group of people that, like, do not care about protecting the pillars of your society, the tenets that got you to the place where you could have this conversation. They want to burn Rome to the ground, and they have no idea what they're going to replace it with. So again, like, these are just my general thoughts on stuff.